Greetings, Black Light once again. I was telling you how I came up with one of my previous videos about game recognizes game. I know con when I see a con because when I was coming up, you know, we all practice all of the art, you know, the arts of conning, the arts of macking and pimping, you know, all of the hustling, three-car Molly, all that, man. And my crew here in Detroit coming up. But I graduated from that. 72 years old, right? Now, let's break that down. That's 4 and 3 decades and add 2 years. So 4 decades, that's, you know, 4 tens. And then 3 decades, it's 3 tens, and you put them together, and you got 70. Then you add 2 years, you got 72. Almost a quarter of a century. Now, the first 40 years is when you actually grow into manhood. When you become a mature adult, you're no longer on the level of a minor or a teenager or a they want to say young adult. You're not on that level. 40 is actually a young adult. That's when you actually become a young adult. When you're in your 20s, you're still not an adult at all. You're still thinking on the adolescent stage. And then you add 30 more years, 30 more years on top of that 40, and you're almost coming back around to another 40, lacking 10 more years. And what does this add to your maturity is you finally figuring out the difference between real and unreal. You finally figuring out how to use your powers and your faculties. And you still, according to the scriptures, you still immature. And because there's many layers to your development. There are many stages to your development. So you no longer think and act the same way you did, a decade ago. When you break down that 10 years, a decade, you got 9 years. That number 9 is the number, that's the birth. That's the term that when the woman is in her pregnancy, 9 months, is the new birth. And then you add that 1 and you start all over, and then you go all the way up to another 10, which would be 20. That would be 2 decades, and you're repeating yourself, but you're on a higher level. Then 3, that 3 degrees, you're on another higher plateau. But if you haven't evolved properly, and something is hindering your maturity and your growth, and you keep on being on that same level, on that adolescent level, you might as well say you garbage, man. And in the computer, it's garbage in, garbage out. So the system deletes what is not correct, what is not evolving properly. And black man, you haven't, and black woman, you're not revolving on your highest degree. You let the enemy keep you in check. That's why you get suckered by your own people. You don't blame the enemy, you blame your own people. Well, you're supposed to blame your own people, but you got to blame yourself now because you keep falling for the foolishness. This is Black Light.